All right, so next we're gonna be doing the dumbbell floor fly. See, a lot of people know the dumbbell floor press, which is just a bench press, but you're lying on the floor. The difference with this is you're actually doing a fly. So a lot of us like to work our shoulders, we like to work our chest. The issue with this is if we do too much pressing, too much flies, too much stress on that shoulder in the anterior chain, we're gonna stress the bicep tendon, we're gonna possibly get shoulder impingements, we're gonna get a lot of protraction and not that much retraction. We're gonna have unhealthy shoulders, and I guarantee 5 out of the 10 people watching this are doing or have had negative shoulder issues, whether it's aching pains, injuries, so on and so forth. And it comes from too much pressing, but you don't have to eliminate working these muscles, you just have to be smarter about it. So one of my big proponents is obviously rowing or pulling or working the posterior chain twice as much as you work the anterior chain. But something else you can do is tweak exercises so they're not as stressful on the shoulder in general, right? So when we do a fly, if you look at me from this angle, when I'm doing a fly and I come here, this is a good range of motion. I'm getting a pec stretch, I'm getting a lot of activation, but a lot of people do flies on a bench and they keep going and going and going and going because they want to create a bigger stretch, which can create more muscle hypertrophy because you're stretching the muscle tissue itself, having it to rebuild. But the further we go, the more we're pulling on those tendons, the more we're pulling on that joint. That's not very good, right? And then that's going to lead to taking a break from the gym where you can't actually work on the muscle. So we want to keep things safe. So one of the ways to do that is to do it on the floor. So when I'm coming down, I get that stretch in a very ideal position, but my elbow touches the floor, so I can't go any further. So I can actually increase the load I'm using, which is going to allow me to go heavier. Obviously a good thing to increase volume, build more muscle, but I'm also going to keep the joint safe in a heavier load because I can't go any further past what's actually beneficial for the muscle, for the joint, for the tendon, so on and so forth. So I'm just going to demo a couple of these real quick. So as you can see, laying on the floor, I want my knees bent because it's just easier to keep my back flat. I'm going to go out and create that stretch, but now my elbows are touching, and I come in. So just like a regular fly, I'm just not able to go any further past that parallel range of motion. Get a big stretch, pause, bring the dumbbells together. So every single rep, I'm working on getting that stretch and then closing it in. And one thing I want you guys to think about is when I get to the top of this movement, and I stole this from John Meadows, the mountain dog, great cue, I wanna act like I'm popping a balloon in between the dumbbells. So if I'm bringing these dumbbells together and there's a balloon right here and I wanna pop that balloon, especially like a thick rubber balloon, so I have to press it to pop it. This is gonna allow me to finish that contraction with actually working the chest as a whole muscle very, very hard. Like I'm gonna get a very good peak, big mind muscle connection, a big contraction. This is what bodybuilding is about, and if we're doing a fly, we're bodybuilding essentially. So one more time, it's from a different angle. Dumbbell floor press position, heels flat, low back flat, knees bent. I'm gonna start by pressing the dumbbells up. So you never start from a fly position. Once I'm here, I'm controlling very, very slowly, working to spread my clavicle apart so I can get a big stretch in the muscle tendon or the muscle tissue. Once my elbows touch, pause, bring it together, pop the balloon. So once again, very slow, all the way down, pause when your elbows touch, close it together.